The movie starts in the year 1981 in Spain, where a couple named Adolfo and Lola are celebrating their wedding ceremony. Lola is a pregnant bride expecting twins, and the couple could not be more excited for the coming future. As they enjoy what they think is the best day of their life, something happens that shatters all their happiness and excitement. Blood spreads through Lola's wedding dress, and she suffers from a miscarriage. Adding to her misery, she is informed that she would never be able to have children in her life. In the following scene, it has been 6 months since the incident, and Lola still hasn't recovered from her trauma. Adolfo, tired of watching his wife suffer, suggests adopting children from the convent orphanage nearby, but the idea doesn't excite Lola. She thinks adoption will just remind her of the miscarriage more frequently and refuses. Days pass, and when she finally starts to recover, she eventually comes around to accepting her husband's suggestion. One day, they make up their mind and head to the convent, where they meet Teen and Tina, a pair of albino twins. Although they are only 7 years old, they have a talent for music and can skillfully play the church organ. Lola is charmed at first and wants to adopt them, and even though Adolfo is a little reluctant because they are too old and definitely not creepy, he relents at the end. The new family of 4 happily drives back to their home. The twins are very cheerful and excited while they run around to explore the house. At dinner, the children give Adolfo a crown of Christ and Lola a rosary to show their gratitude for being adopted. They sit down to eat, but refuse to put food in their mouth unless the family has prayed. The 4 of them clasp their hands together to pray, but Lola is a little reluctant and ends her prayer halfway through. After dinner, she goes to unpack the children's luggage and discovers that they have brought several crosses and crucifixes with them. She finds it a little weird but brushes it off. After putting the twins to sleep, she goes to her own room to retire for the night and takes off the rosary to put it inside a drawer. She's woken up the next morning by a strange tapping sound against the window. She opens the curtains to see the twins hitting the window with slingshots made out of a small Christ figure. After a while, the mischievous children enter the kitchen to eat breakfast prepared by their new mother. When she refuses to pray before eating, Tina asks her if she doesn't believe in God. Lola doesn't and says so, to which Tina insists that she has a method that can help people see God. Hearing this, Teen pipes up saying that he wants to see God too, because it has been a long while since he saw him last. Lola is amused by their childish antics, but it soon turns into panic when Tina suddenly covers Teen's head with a sack, making it hard for him to breathe. Teen wheezes and gasps, but doesn't resist. After Tina finally frees him from the sack, he claims that he saw God and asked for a miracle for Lola. The tense atmosphere is broken when Tina grabs a bowl of jam and initiates a food fight. Lola is quickly calmed down as she starts laughing along with the twins. The next day, Teen and Tina join their new school. Since it is their first day, they are introduced to the class by the teacher. The rest of the room goes quiet, but the class bully makes fun of them for being strange. The twins ignore him for the time being, but are troubled by his words and talk to Lola when they get back home. She is quick to console them and reveals her prosthetic leg, showing the kids that she is a little bit strange too. That night, after having a talk with her husband about the kids' unusual obsession with religion, Lola walks to her room. But on her way, she sees that the twins still haven't gone to sleep. As it turns out, they are not sleepy and want to play a game, to which Lola readily agrees. It is a simple game of reciting Bible verses before getting into a lively pillow fight, or so she thought. Suddenly, the twins disappear and the lights go out. Lola has no time to figure out what's going on before the twins jump out and cover her head with a sack. Lola struggles and demands for them to let go, but the twins refuse to budge because to them, it is just a fun game. A little while later, Adolfo finds Lola kneeling on the floor, gasping for air. He wants to punish the twins for their behavior, but Lola insists that they are just children and will grow out of it. The twins come to her to apologize, but it somehow agitates Lola's dog and it bites her arm before running away. As a result, the children decide amongst themselves to honor Lola and punish the dog. So the next night, they sneak into their parents' room to steal Lola's sleeping medicine and then feed it to the dog. They then drag the dog's limp body to the living room and gather all the knives and sharp objects in the house which, as they say, are going to cleanse its soul. Come morning, Adolfo and Lola are woken up by the twins who are covered in blood. Terrified at the sight, they go downstairs to see Lola's dog dead on the floor. Lola wails while hugging the dead body of her dog, and the twins realize that they had actually killed it. Lola is understandably shaken by the event, but Adolfo manages to console her. The same night, she can hear the sound of pained moans outside her bedroom. It is the twins, kneeling and walking with forks wrapped around their knees as penance for what they have done. Lola quickly takes the children to the bathroom to treat their injuries and strongly reprimands them. She doesn't want them to follow everything that the Bible says because, according to her, it is simply a fantasy book that shouldn't be believed. But her scolding is all for naught because the children have an unwavering faith in their religion. Time passes by, and it is soon Christmas time. Adolfo comes home early, bringing matching presents for the twins, who are very excited. Lola prepares dinner in the kitchen while the three of them sit on the sofa to watch TV. When Lola is walking over to join them, she suddenly starts feeling dizzy and collapses. Adolfo rushes to take her to the hospital, where they receive good news. Against all odds, Lola is pregnant again. Few months pass and Lola's belly is now swollen with her unborn son, and she is getting along fairly well with her two adopted children. It is time for their first communion, so the twins, along with their classmates, have a ceremony in the church. They play the organ while their classmates sing in the choir, but one of the kids is missing. It is the child who bullies Teen and Tina at school. Just as the school children finish the ceremony and the prayers, the bully, who is covered in blood, slams open the door of the church and faints on the floor. Lola is very agitated by the event. She asks the twins if they had something to do with the bully's injuries, but they deny her accusations and firmly state that they have done nothing wrong. Lola lets the matter go, but her heart still remains uneasy. Few days later, she gets a call from the bully's mother, who sorrowfully says that her son is now in a coma and she is suspicious about the twins' involvement. Before Lola could talk to her further, the call is interrupted by the twins. She has always felt strange and uncomfortable around them, and along with their past actions, she now strongly suspects that they are behind the bully's accident. She takes a trip to meet the head nun of the convent to find answers. When she asks about whether Teen and Tina had some problems while living in the orphanage, the nun resolutely states that the children are well behaved and kind, but the problem instead lies with Lola herself. Getting nothing but more complicated answers out of the meeting, she limps out of the church on her prosthetic leg and returns home. That night, she is unable to sleep, so she goes into the children's room to borrow their Bible. It turns out to be a horrible mistake, as she discovers drawings folded inside the book. One is a drawing of the twins cutting open a dog, and another one is of them hitting the bully with slingshots. She is shaken with fear as she puts the Bible down on the nightstand, careful to not wake the children up. But Tina silently opens her eyes just after Lola closes the door. Lola waits for her husband to arrive home and shows him the drawings. According to her, they are evidence of the twins' crime, but to Adolfo, the drawings are just childish scribbles. He refuses to hear anything more and stomps to the bedroom. The next day, Lola puts her foot down and seizes all the Bibles and crucifixes around the house before locking them inside a box. If the twins ever try to open this box or bring religion into the house, they would be sent back to the convent immediately. Lola's relationship with the twins has grown sour, while Adolfo is very close to them and plays with them whenever possible. When Lola's hair begins falling in clumps, she is sure that somehow it is the children's doing, but her husband blames it on her pregnancy. They get into an argument, and Adolfo storms off to play with the children, leaving Lola to cry alone in the bathroom. A few days later, she calls the bully's mother to ask about his condition, but finds out that he died 3 days ago. Horrified, she tries to seek comfort from her husband, but he has to go to work. While leaving, he also urges the children to show some love to their mother in the morning because pregnancy is a hard time for women. That morning, Lola wakes up to find that her arms are tied to the headrest. The twins are inside the room trying to show her some love. Lola grows terrified and begins struggling and demanding them to let her go, but the twins ignore her and go on with a show that they have prepared. Teen, who I thought could not look creepier, but here we are, takes away her prosthetic leg while Tina tries to force feed her milk. Lola seals her lips shut and refuses to drink a single drop. Teen gets an idea and brings a syringe, attempting to directly inject Lola's stomach with milk to feed their baby brother. Lola panics and thrashes around. She finally manages to break free and hops on one leg to escape to the kitchen and pulls out a knife to defend herself. It is right at this moment that Adolfo returns home. Amidst all the fear and confusion, Lola's water breaks and she is rushed to the hospital. She gives birth to a healthy boy, and at that moment, all the arguments and suspicions are laid to rest as the four of them gather together to happily welcome the newest member of their family, unaware that their happiness won't last long. One sunny day, taking advantage of Adolfo and Lola's distraction, the twins sneak the baby out of the cradle and dip him into the pool in an attempt to baptize him, almost drowning him in the process. Thankfully, Lola finds them just in time and rescues her baby. She angrily slaps the twins and snaps at her husband, who could not watch over his own children. Adolfo, finally seeing sense, burns the twins' Bible in a fit of rage and declares that they are not his children anymore. He and Lola waste no time and drop off the twins back to the convent the next day and drive away. Time passes and it is the baby's 1-month birthday, so Lola and Adolfo go out to a restaurant to celebrate. Although it is a joyous occasion, the couple cannot help but argue, and they can see the cracks forming in their marriage. It is a difficult drive back to their house because of the heavy rain and lightning. Even late after midnight, the rain is still pouring down and Lola finds herself unable to sleep. She leaves the baby in his cot and goes downstairs to the living room where Adolfo is watching TV. Adolfo can see her having doubts about their marriage and rushes to plead and promise to do better. When Lola still doesn't say anything, Adolfo reverts to his old genius self and decides to let out his frustrations by going to the roof of the house to fix the TV antenna in the middle of a thunderstorm. The weather is horrible and the lights keep flickering, and Lola keeps hearing footsteps around the house. She grows increasingly anxious as the sense of dread goes through her heart. She goes outside to investigate when she hears a scream coming from the roof of the house. Adolfo's body is engulfed in flames as he is holding the antenna. He falls down from the roof and Lola dashes inside to get a blanket to put out the fire. While she is searching, the Human Torch stumbles inside the living room, and before Lola has a chance to do anything, the entire room catches fire and she is forced back while screaming. She quickly runs upstairs to get her baby, but to her horror, the cot is empty. She frantically searches every corner of the house, but her baby is nowhere to be found. She wails, sitting inside a burning house, completely hopeless, when she sees the mark that a crucifix had left on the wall. Almost as if enlightened, she quickly puts a sack over her head and chokes herself. Lightheaded and on the verge of passing out, she begins hearing faint sounds of a baby's cry. She cautiously follows the sound, which finally leads her to her baby. She hugs him in relief and quickly escapes out of the house and gets to safety before losing consciousness. In the next scene, Lola is taken to a hospital where the head nun of the convent comes to visit her. She reveals that Adolfo was struck by lightning, but the baby is safe and sound. Lola asks for the twins' whereabouts, and the nun says that they have been in the convent all along, and they have always been innocent. Lola learns absolutely nothing from all of this and believes their innocence and adopts the twins once again. The story ends with Lola's faith being restored in religion and God, as she stands side by side with her 3 children during the burial of her husband. And that's a wrap for this movie recap. Thanks for watching.